Hello and welcome back to the Metroid Crusade. I'm Caleb,
And I'm Junko.
and today we are going to be talking about a game that I have started like 6 times and I never finished it until now. Uh, Metroid Samus Returns. So this is a remake of sorts.
I would say of
It's
sorts. It is a remake.
it is so much of a reimagining, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is so much of a reimagining. I would say this is it's in the vein of Zero Mission, but I think it is more of a reimagining than Zero Mission was.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Definitely
Um,
it with Zero Mission, it took stuff from the past and brought it to the modern day, while this one took something from the past and hurled it towards the future.
yes, yes. Um, so yes, we're talking about uh Metroid Samus Returns, remake of Metroid 2 Return of Samus on the Game Boy. This was released for the 3DS in, was this
2017,
2017?
the year Dragon Ball Fighters was announced.
The year Dragon Ball Fighters was announced. The reason we are always referencing Dragon Ball Fighters is not just because it had a huge impact on both of our lives as far as competitive fighting game goes, but also because it was revealed the same day that Prime 4 was revealed.
Oh yeah, and the best part about this was this game got revealed like in a Nintendo Treehouse event. Like everyone was already hyped up for Prime 3, and then
Prime
it's like,
4.
oh, by the way, here's another Metroid game coming out this year.
Yeah, and honestly, that is kind of how in my opinion, that's how you should treat a remake. Um, but like I said, I think this is more of a reimagining. So I think that this probably should have had more fanfare. Um, but yeah, I think in general
Oh,
you should not treat just a remake as like your show ender. Like you should not end the show with Resident Evil 4 remake. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Konami. Y- yeah, Capcom.
I was
Yeah.
like,
It's
you
every
talking about
freaking company nowadays is doing a remake, and it's always just like it's either they don't do the proper they take out all the stuff that makes the game unique, so it barely functions as a remake, or it's just like a bad coat of paint.
yeah.
Samus Returns isn't that.
I would love there to be a remake where it's actually a play on words where they're literally remaking the story. May
Boo.
maybe involving a time travel from video games Darth Vader. Um,
I don't care about the Netflix Scott Pilgrim series.
I don't know anything about that. I'm just talking about Final Fantasy VII. I love Final
I know,
Fantasy
I
VII
know, I
remake.
know.
Um,
It
but
was actually kind
anyway,
of funny because in the original pitch for Samus Returns, Mercury Steam, who are the developers of the Castlevania Lords of Shadow series, they pitched the game to Nintendo.
did they do 1 and 2? I thought they just did Mirror of Fate.
They did all of them.
They did all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, that is actually kind of funny because a lot of Metroid fans were freaking out about this game. Like, oh my god, a new Metroid 2 remake. And then their hearts sunk when they're like, oh my god, it's made by Mercury Steam. But then it
Yeah,
came out, it's alright.
yeah. I think, and here's the thing. I like Lords of Shadow. I like that trilogy. Um, but and yes, it is a trilogy. It's not a duology. Mirror of Fate is a game, and I like it as well. but I think that we can agree that the grievances that people have with Lords of Shadow really come down more to Konami as the publisher
Well,
than Mercury Steam as the developer.
also, this is gonna sound weird, but I think Mercury Steam's video game style fits Metroid more than Castlevania.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean by
okay.
that?
I
There's a
don't, but
bit
go
of a
ahead.
there's a bit of a misconception with the term Metroidvania. Whenever someone claims it's a Metroidvania, they really just mean a Symphony of the Night clone. They never really do a Metroid clone, if that makes any sense. Because Metroid games are actually quite linear, as we've seen.
Yeah, that honestly, through this entire experiment, that's one thing that I've noticed. Whenever people are like, "Oh my God, Fusion is so much more linear than Super," or "Zero Mission is such a linear game," or uh, uh,
You're saying a lot of
Prime.
games are linear, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's
And in your first playthrough of Super Metroid, it's gonna also be very linear. You're not gonna discover how to sequence break until like one or two replays in.
yeah.
Now,
Fun
what I
fact.
mean
Fun
by
fact.
this is
The least linear Metroid is the first one, and we've established that one is not good.
but but here's the thing. Metroid does thrive on pseudo linearity. Like it'll still give you some a bit to explore, but it definitely wants to funnel you in a certain place. Castlevania style games do not. They want you to just put you in a world and just go to town. And Mercury Steam style of gameplay does not fit that version of Metroidvania. It definitely fits the Metroid style of Metroidvania.
Yeah,
And
and
back
on
to
I mean,
the
and
back to the remake stuff. Uh, when Mercury Steam first pitched this game to Nintendo, they were originally intending to do a Metroid Fusion
it would have been a better game.
remake, but it didn't need a remake. It would just been like Resident Evil.
It would have been a little bit different. It would have been a little bit different from Resident Evil. Okay, it would have been. It would have been more like. Uh, this isn't a good example because I think it would have been a better game than this, but it would have been like Maverick Hunter X.
Maybe,
But
I
like
think
but like Maverick Hunter X isn't that great of a game. Whatever Mercury Steam did would have been a good game, you know. Because I'm
well,
and
the thing
let,
is
let's go ahead and establish this. I'm not saying that this is a bad game. I was not a fan of this game, but that's just because I don't like the.
you don't like Metroid 2.
This was built off of the skeleton of a game that I already hate,
Here's the thing:
and
it
so
doesn't
this
matter
is.
how good the game is. We could play a certain fan remake that legally we're not allowed to talk about, and Caleb would still hate it.
I have played that one and I don't like it. This
Of
is
course
better
you
than
don't.
that.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay, so I don't know much about the I don't know about the AM2R fan base. Is it a hot take if I say that Samus Returns is better than it? Is that
No,
hot? Okay, it's not a hot take. Okay.
no. Well, the thing is there are two camps. Basically, how do you like your Metroid 2 remake? Basically, and that's actually very interesting on how the philosophy of how you go about the Metroid 2 structure. Well, I'll talk about that a little later once we actually get into the story.
Okay.
Which,
I mean, let's go ahead and let's hop in. Obviously, we've talked about Metroid 2 before, but where are we in the timeline? What's going on?
all right, so this takes
Because
place
keep in mind, last time we talked about Metroid 2, the only thing that had happened before was Metroid 1.
Metroid 1.
We've had so much happen before this now.
All right, so this game takes place after the original Metroid, or technically Zero Mission, and the entirety of the Prime series. The Galactic Federation.
And we're still not sure about Prime 4 though, because the timeline doesn't make any sense.
Caleb,
They
even
they
even before that, the timeline never made any sense.
the
Don't worry
game
about it.
the game decided to give us dates and it made it worse.
Don't worry about it. The Galactic Federation sent a team to research SR388 and discovered that that is the home world of the Metroids. And so a unanimous decision within the council has stated we need to completely eradicate the Metroid threat from SR388. So they send their prime Metroid hunter, Samus Aran, to
Not to be
dispose of the Metroid threat.
not to be confused with Metroid Prime Hunters. That's a different thing.
Or the Metroid hunter from Metroid Prime 2 and 3. And 1, actually.
It's kind of like Taco Bell, where we're just gonna use the same 3 words but mix them up every time.
Yeah. And
Cr-
burrito fajitas.
burrito, fajita, cruncho, beano things.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would say that Samus is definitely a burrito. The Metroid is definitely the crunch wrap.
Depending on the version of Metroid,
You
which
know,
is what Samus soon discovers
you're
that
right. You're right.
these
The
Metroids
Metroid.
are a lot different from the Metroids she's fought before. They've
Get
been
ready for this.
mutated into the Alpha, Beta, Delta. Is it Delta?
No, Zeta
Zeta, and Omega Metroids.
and the Doritos Locos Metroid.
Yeah. That's a weird way of saying the Queen.
Um,
Well, what other secrets will she find within SR388?
Perhaps
Well,
two
I
more
guess
bosses.
2 more bosses, some brand new abilities, such as Aeon powers.
Yeah, let's talk about the Aeon abilities. So, you know more about the lore than I do. So I'm playing this game, and I just kind of accept that there are these statues that give us special abilities throughout the game. What are they?
The Aeon powers?
No, I mean I know what the powers are, but like what are the statues? What's going on there?
Well, Chozo typically put their special like items in statues, so this is simply just an extension of that.
Gotcha. So like, there's not
I don't,
like a
I don't know
there's
what the lore thing is.
there's not a reason for them being there.
I mean, they built them. I
Yeah.
would assume the Aeon powers are just how the Chozo experimented with Aeon energy.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start with the Aeon powers. I think we can just not breeze through the Aeon powers, but I think that we'll just go through all the Aeon powers before any of the other items. So
First off, Scan Pulse.
Scan Pulse, I used this so much.
Yeah, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah, not only, I mean, it's a lifesaver because so here's the thing. This is still Metroid 2.
Metroid 2 is very labyrinthy.
Metroid 2 is very labyrinthy. And can I be honest? I think they made it more complicated. Like, we actually
that's what they did.
We have a map that's definitely different. And we have the scan pulse that's definitely different. But I mean, this is not 100% the map from Metroid 2. This is so much more. They made a complicated version of an already complicated map. And I mean, I'll give them one thing: it doesn't overlap. If you remember, the Metroid 2 the Metroid 2 map overlapped on itself, and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, now there's elevators.
Now there's elevators. So they did that. Speaking of, they also added teleport pads, which honestly I didn't use those as much as I thought I would.
I used them a decent amount. Well, actually, more I used them when I wanted to get back to the Metroid DNA station.
Yeah,
I like,
I used it for that, and I used it for uh like I had like this one place where like I could guarantee there was a save station nearby, and there was a health regen space nearby. So yeah, you're about to say now what we have to do is we have to collect the DNA from each of Metroid so that way we can lower
the
um,
acid.
the
There's
acid.
a lore explanation for the acid now, which is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, and
It never really made too much
it
sense.
was just magic in the first
It
version.
was a video game thing, but now it's
Yeah,
like, oh, they want someone who is strong enough to defeat these Metroids to collect the Metroids. Uh, the old Metroid DNA. But this, but the other power, which actually gets into our other brand new ability, which is the counter. Now, the counter is completely changes how you play this game.
yes, yes. And let me go ahead and say this once again because I said it back in Other M. I'll say it here. We do not get Samus Returns. We do not get Dread without Other M.
Of course,
Um,
this is an extension of the what is it called in Other M?
oh, I don't. It was something cool. I don't remember.
Dual Sense? Or no, that's
Dual,
Playground.
no, no. It was a sense move.
Sense Move, yes. But this is an extension of that sort of mechanic. And what happens is an enemy will charge at you, there'll be a flash, and then you counter, basically stunning the enemy, giving you a bunch of Aeon power, and making your first shot super powered,
Yes.
basically giving it an instant kill.
Yeah, and this one it's mostly kind of like I would compare it to Glory Kills from Doom.
Yeah.
Because this is the best way to get health. I will say this: they are not nice when it comes to health in this game. um, is this is it okay to say that this game is really hard, or am I just
Oh,
showing my?
oh no, no. Here's the thing. Uh, one one thing to show how old this game is. One of the biggest comparisons people made of this game was Cuphead, and some of the bosses definitely make it feel very like Cuphead-ish with all the
Yeah,
bullet hell.
yeah.
Uh,
um,
but yeah, the game is hard, and I remember in my first playthrough when the game first came out, I was having a real tough time with it. Uh, but if you don't want to get killed as often and you want to make a good counter, the next Aeon power is for you. The lightning armor reduces the amount of damage you take and gives you a super counter that has extended range. Now, I have a question. Did you use the lightning armor at all?
I did. Usually, so at first it was anytime I had to deal with like the swarm of bees,
Of
and
course.
then other times, if I was backtracking and I just wanted to get through a room.
Hmm.
Um,
My
I,
main
I,
use for
I will say for me, lightning armor was never my first instinct, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like I
I
said,
can see that. Definitely, it's definitely a power that's more useful in the harder difficulties.
yeah,
But I did find some really good use with it, uh, mainly during the alpha and beta Metroids. They have very wonky uh, counter timings, which the extended range of the lightning armor definitely helps out.
yeah. I don't think I actually ever used the lightning armor in a boss fight.
Hmm.
um, that
Now
maybe
there is
some of the bosses would have
another
been easier if I had, but I never
now
used
there
it.
is another ability that's brand new to Samus Returns that will be back in Dread, and that is complete analog free aim.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
what's your opinion of the free aim?
Okay, so it is a good idea that is perfected in Dread. But
I can agree with that, mainly
uh,
because in this game specifically, you can only get the free aim while do while going into a free aim mode. You still move in in an 8-way directions, like you're using a D-pad in this game.
yeah, well, and not only that, but not only that, but uh, so this is another thing where this is a handheld,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurts my hand.
Of course. Oh, trust me, I had to take multiple breaks because it kept cramping my hand. Uh,
Are we old? Is that what this is?
no, I even had trouble when I was first playing through it when I was like a teenager. I was a wee lad when I strolled into a casino like I owned the place.
You did not. I remember that story. You were so scared. We're getting off topic, but you did not stroll into a casino like you own the place. You strolled into a casino like you weren't allowed to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
But
so
the free aim definitely makes certain beams a lot more useful, such as the wave
yes.
beam. You get a lot of use out of the wave beam in this game. Like
Well,
this is
yeah,
probably the strongest the wave beam has ever been.
which is funny because before now, the strongest the wave beam had ever been was Metroid 2.
Hmm.
um,
And the wave and the plasma beam and like spacer beams also get a lot of use with this new system.
well, it's because beam
And the ice
stack.
beam too, which is a separate power, which is a separate beam
Yep.
from the others.
But we're
So
getting
all the
off
beams
topic.
stack with the no, no, no. I'm about to get into it.
Okay.
Which is a separate beam from the others, which is unique and definitely cuts down on the on the waiting for having to shoot an enemy twice. But if you do want to dispatch an enemy quickly, the third Aeon power is for you, which is the Aeon. Is it like the Aeon beam? That's what it's
Be-
called.
it's called beam burst.
Beam burst. It's
If
a
I
rapid fire Aeon shot that
so
melts pretty much everything.
so if I'm in, this is the one that I use the most.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
I used it. I mean, like it's what killed the final boss for me. um,
I usually save mine for when I get counters. Either that or if I want to soften someone up and then finish them off with super missiles. But this is the go-to Aeon power for the rest of the game,
pretty much, yeah.
and will pretty much decimate like any enemy you can think of that's
I
not a
stopped.
boss.
I stopped using lightning armor. Like you know, I said like I used them for like uh, the the like the swarm of bees and all that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you don't need that anymore.
yeah, I used beam burst for that at that point.
And I don't
um,
have anything to talk about with the last Aeon ability because the last Aeon ability is so forgettable.
I think I used it twice.
What is it
um,
called?
it's called phase drift.
Thank you, because I forgot its name. It
um,
is it is like the opposite of the Lightspeed dash. Instead of going super fast, you make everything around you really slow.
yeah,
and
Um,
it's not that exciting.
yeah, I think I tried to use it on one boss, and
Yeah.
and
What's the problem with that
it
though?
it it didn't like it didn't work the way I wanted it to. And then whenever so the reason I was using it, I'll go ahead and we'll talk about the boss later, but you'll know what I'm talking about whenever I say it. I was using it on the Digger Knot, um, to dodge like its hammers and stuff. But then I'm just I used it once without it, and I'm like, wait a second, I can just do this without wasting Aeon.
Yeah, and also the problem with like you could say like, oh, you can use it to get better timings for counters. Well, unfortunately, by the time you get it, not only should you be used to doing counters, but also the counters are a lot less
you,
finicky.
I'll be honest, there does come a point where they're less useful as well.
Oh yeah, well
Uh,
that's because you get better abilities where it's you only really use them for like super tough enemies.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a very forgettable power. But I would keep all four of these Aeon powers in mind. Not for this game, but for the next. We'll talk about that in a future video.
yeah. That's the thing is like the evolution from Other M to Samus Returns to Dread. Just it makes so much sense.
Well, not just from like evolution of like the Aeon powers from Samus Returns to Dread, but also lore implications. But again, we'll get back to that later.
So yeah, let's go ahead and we talked about the abilities. Let's go ahead and talk about the
The bosses.
well, not the bosses. We'll save the bosses. We'll talk about the items, and then we'll talk bosses. And we really won't save. We don't have to like wait for like end game um, items because I'll be honest, I don't think the game feels good until you get the end game items. Uh, we've gone over the ice beam. The ice beam is so there's the power beam and the charge beam, obviously. The ice beam is its own slot, which is interesting.
Yes. And I even though it's its own separate slot, if you want to kill Metroids efficiently, you better get used to switching from regular beam and ice beam, which does that's another complaint I have with this game is that it treats the touchscreen like it's an extra set of buttons.
Yeah, there are times whenever I'm not switching fast enough because it's a touchscreen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But in especially in the earlier Metroid fights, uh, the ice beam is infinitely more useful than the other beams at your disposal
yeah,
because
for the most part, I didn't use the regular beam on
Metroids.
Metroids. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, so next up we have is the wave beam. Wave beam lets us shoot through walls and does more damage. So yeah, I mean there's there's really not much to say about the wave beam. It's the wave beam. It's iconic.
mhm,
Same with the spazer. Spazer
makes it
had
wider.
makes it wider. It doesn't let you do more damage, but you do triple damage because there are three wave beams shooting at one time. Um, and then finally we have the plasma beam, which plasma beam shoots through armor and just does a crap load of damage. And that's whenever you start like actually feeling like a threat to enemies. Because honestly, before then, it felt like every enemy was a mini boss.
Hmm.
After that, not after that, but we've gone through beams. There's also the grapple beam. Grapple beam. Can I be honest? Grapple
Yes.
beam. Grapple beam kind of annoyed me in this game.
I think it definitely got better in Dread, but I like it's a good it's a good jumping off point for the new grapple beam. It definitely has the potential to feel better.
Yeah. The only
But it
time,
still but it still feels quite sluggish.
yeah. Let's see. We have missiles. Missiles are pretty much. I mean,
Mandatory.
I mean, by and large, like, what's the weapon you're going to use the most in the game? It's going to be missiles. I think this is actually the one time in Metroid so far where I think I used missiles more than I used any other beam.
Yeah. Especially early on, because the your power beam at the start is not great.
Yeah. Um, and then we have super missiles. Super missiles are in this. And I'll be honest. I think that they're less impressive in this game. We'll say. Like they definitely do more damage, but like it's weird. I don't feel the oomph of super missiles in this game. You know, they just do more damage because I know they do more damage. There's nothing that tells me they do more damage. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not as oomph as the other games. Like in the other games,
It shook the screen, or you had to charge it up.
in this
In
game, it just does more damage. The only
Yeah,
difference that I feel is that Metroids die a lot quicker with super missiles. That's it.
yeah. So let's see.
There's
We do have the morph ball. The morph
It
ball
allows you
is
to open doors.
yes. Um, we have morph ball bombs, obviously.
You can dodge in this game.
What?
Not in this game, but I'm ma- I'm just kind of making fun of the recent Prime trailer. That's like you can dodge in this game.
All right. So we actually had to edit the recording there for a second because we might be having some microphone difficulties with Chunko. If you don't notice it, then that's great. Maybe it's just on my end that I'm hearing it. But we're going to go ahead and proceed. We were just talking about um, the morph ball bombs. Next up, as far as items go, was the spider ball. We're back with the spider ball.
And I think this is probably
Uh,
the best 2D Spider Ball has been.
up
Which,
to this point.
well, there's only two.
Well, up to this point. Because it's in Dread.
No, it's not really.
Okay. Okay. um, we'll get to that. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it. It does. We do deal with the annoying, like, you're pressing left but going right thing. Uh, so there is that. But for the most part, this is fine. And then eventually you get Spring Ball, and then for a lot of things, you don't use the Spider Ball anymore because you have the Spring Ball. um, so yeah, it's the Spring Ball. You get to jump in the Morph Ball. Let's see. As far as mobility upgrades go, we have the high jump boots,
Which is
um,
the high jump boots.
which is the high jump boots. Space jump, which completely invalidates the spider ball.
Oh, completely. Like, well, actually, there's one aspect of the Spider Ball that is not invalidated. Well,
Well,
two of
yeah.
them. Well,
I mean,
one for bosses, and
yeah. I mean, like, barring boss fights, like, if there's a boss fight that requires spider ball, then that's what we're talking about. Um, But yeah, space jump is great, and then we get the screw attack.
Now, screw attack, I feel like, is one of the strongest it's ever been
I
in this
disagree.
game.
I thought it was. I thought it felt pretty weak, actually.
Oh, I felt I was like I didn't even need to use the counter or the beams anymore.
No, no, no. It you know what? It felt weaker because usually when by the time you get the screw attack, it just one hits everything.
Yeah, but
Um,
you get screw attack a lot earlier in this game.
you do get it earlier, but like like the turrets and the EMP robots, those take like a couple hits from the screw attack.
Yeah, but I could figure out a way to get multiple hits in so they just die in like a second.
Yeah. And then as far as suits go, we have the various suit.
Now, some people are kind of mixed on the Samus Returns design of Samus. What do you think of the three suits for Samus?
I think they're fine.
Yeah,
I have
I don't.
I have pretty unpopular opinions when it comes to suits, though, so we won't
Yeah,
worry
you
about
like the
that. Yeah,
PED suits, so
yeah. I think the PED. I think the hazard suit is the best suit, um, and then everything from um, fusion and dread. I love, and I actually like the power suit from from Other M, which is apparently that's a big one that people don't like, and I don't get it.
I mean, I like the Varia suit from Other M. I just don't like the power suit. I think the power suit looks like a Power Ranger.
That's probably why I like it.
I don't. I'm also not a fan of the power suit design in this game, but I just unless if it's the original Metroid, I'm not a big fan of the shoulder pads. They never quite look right
Okay.
in any games except for the original Metroid and Zero Mission.
Okay.
Uh, but I found the Samus Returns like Varia suit okay. It definitely gave me more Boba Fett vibes than any
The
other Varia suit design.
the visor is definitely the thinnest it's ever been.
Oh, it's so Boba Fett it hurts.
Um, I actually didn't
Uh,
even notice it until you mentioned it.
but this game definitely has one of my favorite uh, suit designs, which is the gravity suit in this game. I find the gravity suit in this game to be the best gravity suit design.
So that is where we will kind of disagree. I think it's just fine.
Nah, I think this is the best gravity suit design in the series. And I not only because of like the design itself, but also the subtext, which we will get into when we discuss bosses. Uh, is there any other
uh,
abilities? Oh, power bombs.
well, that so power bombs is pretty much the only thing in this game that I would consider end game.
Yeah.
Everything else,
Well, no, there's
like
another ability, but you don't know that's an ability until you get it.
until you get.
That's also getting to
Oh,
spoiler territory.
right, right. I forgot about that. But power bombs are overpowered as usual, and it's the only way to shine spark because there's no
Yep.
speed booster in this game.
Yep. And the way to shine spark in this game is to get the turn on spider ball and then plant a power bomb, which will launch you super fast. Great against bosses, great against traversing around the world. I find it pretty underrated as an ability. It
I
makes
don't.
you want to grab as many power bombs as you can.
I definitely don't know how it works though.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, and it never tells you that you can do this. I
Yeah,
remember my first playthrough. It took me until the end of the game before I found out you could do that, and I had to look it up online. It was kind of annoying because
gotcha.
there's no animals that teach you this, like in Super Metroid.
Well, I mean, like, there's no point in saving the animals here. We're here to kill everything.
Yeah, kill them all. This is the genocide simulator.
Um, and I think as far as upgrades, items, power ups, I believe that's it. Other than the other one.
Yeah, we'll discuss the other one in a moment.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get into bosses. Uh, um, we'll start with just the Metroid evolution chain. First, we have our Alpha Metroids. Now, a big difference between um, this game and uh, Return of Samus is there are different types of Metroids that are like evolutions, because if there's one in a lava area, then it's got like a lava upgrade to it. Some of them have electricity. I think those are the two.
Um, yeah, but there's also like different areas where the Metro could dwell in that could change up the environment you're walking around in. It's it definitely makes each Metroid fight
A
not a
little
complete
different.
like afterthought like it is in the original Metroid game. And
Yeah.
this definitely does differentiate this shows the differences of design philosophy between uh Samus Returns and a certain Metroid 2 remake we can't mention. Uh that Metroid 2 remake made the gameplay based more on trying to find the Metroids rather than fighting them. While in this one, it's a lot easier to find the Metroids, but it's a lot harder to fight them.
Yeah, that's also part of the reason why I think that this is better, because I think finding the Metroids is hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to make that a whole thing.
We don't need to make it a collectathon.
Um, but yeah, so the Alpha Metroid is it's the Alpha Metroid. It's pretty normal.
It's pretty easy. It charges at you, you counter, you kill it instantly. If when it has elemental abilities, you use Ice Beam to freeze it, so that way you can't do it anymore.
Yep.
It's the Alpha Metroid. You kill one, same as anything else.
Um, so then there's the Gamma Metroids, and they suck.
I like the Gamma Metroids.
They're the ones that run away from you.
Yeah, it's true. And the worst part is, it's not even like they run away from you as like different, as like it's having different phases. No, the running away is a punishment for not killing it fast enough.
Yeah, and even then, it may just run away and not give you enough time in general.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just run away when it feels like it.
So yeah, definitely not a fan of the Gamma Metroids. Um, Zetas are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, those are the best Metroids in the game. They uh, they climb around walls, do bullet hell mechanics.
You
Very
can actually
aggressive.
you can use the grapple beam to pull them down from the ceiling. That's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite difficult, but quite fun.
Um, and honestly, I don't think they show up that much.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because do you know who showed up a little too much? And it's like, all right,
The Gammas.
that's a no, the Omegas.
Here's the thing. I think once you get the power bombs, Omegas don't even exist.
Well, that's the problem because you get the power bombs like after fighting the Omegas once.
That's true.
And then you have to fight him 3 times.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true.
the same fight. No elemental differences, no terrain differences. It is the same fight, and it's not even that hard. I don't think I've ever died against an Omega. Like,
No,
it
I don't think I have
is.
either.
The Omega Metroid fights is aura and hype moments, the fight.
I think I died the most to Gammas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because that's whenever they start changing up their timing, their counter
Yeah,
timing.
and the Zetas, I died a few times to them. Mainly in my
I
first playthrough.
I died to Zetas only because it didn't occur to me that when I pulled them down from the ceiling, I shouldn't be directly under them.
You got Caesared.
Yes.
You got Caesared by the Metroid.
Yeah. So let's see. Those
There's
are all the
also
Metros.
Was it Arachnus?
Who?
The boss you fight to get the spring ball. Arachnus. He was the first boss in Metroid Fusion. He was the Morph Ball Bomb tutorial in Metroid 2.
Oh yeah, the little armadillo thing.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Uh-huh.
Totally forgot that he was in this game.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
when
feel like, do you know what
you
that
notice
boss
you
felt like?
noticed when you noticed when I said there were only two bosses in this game.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 real bosses, and Arachnus is a part of that. But Arachnus is definitely the most forgettable. Arachnus, I feel like, was made prior to Samus Returns being a thing.
You thought that do you think that Arachnus was the pitch for the Fusion remake?
Oh, absolutely. I bet you that their pitch was the entirety of Metroid Fusion up to Arachnus. I bet
Okay.
you that's what it was. And that's
Okay.
what got them the job for Samus Returns. And they just reused the Arachnus boss.
Okay, I could see that.
But other than that fun potential tidbit, Arachnus is pretty forgettable. Now Diggernaut, though.
Oh man, this boss.
Well, there's three appearances of Diggernaut throughout the game. There's
5.
5.
Well,
I don't I count the second encounter, like all the parts of the second encounter being 1. But the first encounter you have with Diggernaut, you wake it up with the grapple beam,
and it walks away.
and it walks away. The second one is when you get the space is before you get the space jump, and makes you do one of the hardest set pieces in Metroid history.
I didn't think it was that hard.
It definitely is hard if you're not used to the grapple beam, and if you're not expecting it. Now, I died a few times when I first played through the game. I didn't die once after when I played through it again, but that's because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, infamous section in this game, because one little clip from the Diggernaut shovel things, and you're just dead. You have to start the set piece all over.
Yeah.
And then finally, the boss. Now, this boss is what I would consider to be the very first Mercury Steam Metroid fight. See, the other Metroid fights, like the actual Metroid fights and the Arachnus fight, those aren't Mercury Steam Metroid fights. This is a Mercury Steam Metroid fight. Now, my question is Caleb, what did you think of the Diggernaut?
I thought it was really hard. and then you taught me how to beat it, and then it was really easy.
And that is the Mercury Steam Metroid fight. The Mercury Steam Metroid boss fight is a boss that's really difficult, like one that edge of your seat, like magic pixel. I just beat it, and then you realize, oh, there's one of your abilities has this very niche feature that pretty much turns this boss into a joke. Now,
Yeah,
if you don't know, Mercury Steam really likes Dragon
Dragoon.
or Dragoon. I thought it was Dragon.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking
I'm
Final
pretty sure
Fantasy.
it's Dragon. But either way, they like bosses
It
that
is.
are really
It's Dragon.
hard until
They like the shrimp.
yeah, they like the shrimp. They like bosses that are really hard until you realize that you can just cheese it with an ability you barely use.
Yep.
And for this in particular, it's the spider ball.
Yeah, and by barely use, like, you use the spider ball quite a bit in this game. You don't use it for this though. You don't use it in
And you
combat.
stop using the spider ball by the time you fight him because the space jump kind of makes it a joke. And you don't unlock the power bombs yet. You unlock it when you beat this guy. So yeah, it kind of turns this boss into a joke because there's a vacuum mechanic with this boss that so you have to put morph ball bombs in the vacuum and it will damage the Digger Knot.
And it'll stun it, essentially.
Yeah. And really hard if you're playing it normally. But if you oh yeah, and it takes like a core of your health too. And really difficult. But then if you just use the spider ball, it's literally nothing. You just don't get sucked in.
Yeah, the spider ball lets you stick to the floor.
Yeah, and you can just plant bombs inside the vortex. It turns the boss into a complete joke.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a good boss fight because it's either impossibly hard without that trick or not even a boss with the trick.
Mm-hmm. It turns into a Mario boss.
Yeah.
But hey, at least this boss had a very satisfying ending where Samus is just like, screw you, stop living,
Right.
just die, and I'm gonna get the power bombs and completely eviscerate you.
Yes.
By the way, side tangent.
I thought this specific part was fun, where you had to climb it as it was moving. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. But side tangent, I do love how terrifying lore accurate power bombs are. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, anytime power bombs are shown in non-gameplay stuff or in story mode or like in the story or lore, they're like, oh, they're like mini nukes. But then you use the power bombs in game, it's just so you can figure out what stuff is bombable.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what you use power bombs for. You use them for exploration.
Not in this though. I just used the scan pulse.
Yeah. So they had to give the power bombs another use, which is
the shine spark.
Shine spark. Now, what about the so-called final boss of this game?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, what about before we go into that, what about some of the environments in this game? Because they did change up some of the environments and the music in this game. What'd you think of that?
Negligible.
I
I
liked
didn't.
the waterfalls of the. I think it was the tower. I think that was it was the tower. I really liked the waterfalls there. It gave it a lot of life, and I really enjoyed the Chozo Labs, where all the Omegas dwell. I love the music in that too.
The labs were cool, yeah. I didn't
And
notice.
especially since it was just full of robots.
I did not notice a good portion of the game. This
I
is
thought the
Metroid 2.
graphics were really good in this game, like some of the best 3DS has to offer.
I'll agree with that. I'm just talking about like the environments. I didn't notice that much. Maybe it's just me. Um, to me,
But
here's the like I said, my problem with this game is at the very core, it is still Metroid 2.
yeah, but if there's one memorable part about Metroid 2, it's the finale.
Yeah, so after a gauntlet of Omegas,
You get
honestly,
into the hive.
honestly, it's one of my favorite parts because like it feels good. You know, you got one Metroid left, and then like how
It
many is
just
it?
jumps.
10 more spawn. It like the counter spawn goes up by 10, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then you go through the hive, or the nest is what it's called. You go through the nest, and you kill 10 infant Metroids. Uh,
Shout
is that what
out
they're
to.
called?
Uh, well, no, I wouldn't say they're infant Metroids. They're just regular Metroids.
Okay. You
Because other M retcon uh, states that they are just regular Metroids.
okay?
Well, also retcons in this game state that they're regular Metroids.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll get into that. We'll get into the lore stuff later. But it's revealed that in this, it's been revealed that the people that whoever is creating these new Metroids is the Metroid Queen, and this is probably the best fight in the entire game. Actually, one of the best Metroid fights. Period. Would you agree?
Uh, yeah, yeah, I would.
This is the fight that puts all of your abilities to the test, and I mean all of them. Uh, there are parts where
Except for phase drift.
not even phase drift you can use that
I
because
mean,
there's bullet hell sections.
yeah, but like you could just get good.
Yeah, well that's the problem with phase drift. It's a crutch. Uh, but yeah, you can use the use your missiles and super missiles on the Metroid on the Queen Metroid's mouth to stun it. You use the space jump and the screw attack to dodge the projectiles that she spews around you. You use the spider ball to prevent uh, the suction of the not suction or like when it blows
She
when
she
it blows
she
to your wall
she
of
blows
fire.
she blows you
Yeah, she blows at me. Yeah, Queen.
to the
Uh,
at a wall of fire. Yes.
you use the not the grapple, the spider ball shine spark to stun the Metroid during one of its attacks where you really don't want it to attack you. Uh, and finally, when you actually beat the actually successfully stun it, use the grapple beam to yank it down yank the mouth down, and get inside her stomach and blow her stomach up with the power bombs.
Just like another M.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like another M. A lot of people didn't know that that's where the power bomb thing started. And you do that 3 times and you beat it. But it's a very event. Oh, you also use counter.
Yep.
So pretty much everything is put to the test. Oh, and you use the armor, the lightning armor, inside the Metroid so you don't get killed.
Oh, I didn't do that. Which
But
would have
yeah,
made it would have made sense because I really didn't use the Aeon
Aeon.
abilities at all.
Yeah, it's a hard fight. And I died. How many times did you die?
I think I got it on my 3rd try.
Same here. But you, unlike the Digger Knot, I was not frustrated while fighting it.
No. This is kind of like a Dark Souls.
This is a very fair fight.
It's a Dark Souls. Like if I'm being completely honest, by my 3rd fight, I wasn't getting hit. Like I was learning.
To be honest, Mercury Steam style boss fights kind of remind me of Punch Out.
Yeah.
Because you have to learn its patterns and also its secrets in order to make it a joke.
But even then, execution is still a thing.
Yeah, this is definitely a boss that even if you know how to beat it, it's still gonna take a try or two. But yeah, you kill the Queen Metroid, and the Metroids are extinct. But you encounter one final egg. This egg hatches, and the baby Metroid inside recognizes you as its mother. And because of that, Samus spares it.
Which I will say, I think that Mandalorian gets everything from this.
Oh yeah.
Because like you can definitely see emotion behind the helmet.
Yeah, but also this is where I get into the subtext and why this gravity suit's one of my favorites in the entire series.
Okay.
So when you look at the gravity suit in this game, you can tell it's a very ornate gravity suit in comparison to other gravity suits. The shoulder pads are a lot larger and they contain wings on it, symbolizing the Chozo.
Okay.
But there's another underlying subtext within the story. What Samus is doing throughout this game is that she's landed on a planet she's never been to, eradicating all living life forms in her path, and at the end, she, as a purple winged creature, stumbles upon a child, a confused, innocent child. And because of that, she spares it.
Okay, I like it. You've never told me this before.
Yeah. So this suit symbolizes her becoming like Ridley.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. And it would have been a stretch if not for the fact that the suit has wings. That's the kicker. But with getting this new suit, you also have the final ability of this game, the baby Metroid itself. It's a legitimate ability.
Yeah, it is. So essentially, throughout the game, you have you've come across like certain things that like you can't break even with the super missile or a
Power bomb.
Or with a power bomb or anything like that. And there were times where I was like, hey, what's this for? And he said, oh, that's for plasma beam. Hey, what's this for? Oh, that's power bomb. There was this one time he's like, I was like, "Hey, what's this for?" He's like, "Oh, that's the baby Metroid." I'm like, "What? The baby Metroid's at the end of the game. Like, what else is there?"
Yep,
Um,
this is how they make you do the last minute collectathon.
yeah.
Is they make the baby Metroid itself an ability. Now, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, I don't care because
I
I
found
didn't.
it kind of silly and kind of annoying that
Sure.
there were multiple power ups that you have to basically at the end of the game you have to hopscotch on each world just to get one or two items. I found that quite annoying, especially since I don't like it when Metroid games force you to not collect everything until the very end. Even
You
Dread
mean
does this.
you mean like other M?
The worst, other end's the worst at it. It's like a full on separate game.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, this like I get that it could also help you bond with the baby Metroid more, but to be honest, it does kind of kill the flow of the game a bit. But then again, the other Metroid games kind of killed the flow of it, with the exception of maybe like I would say Zero Mission didn't kill the flow too much, but the other games definitely. Uh, but well, that's the end of the game, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's the end of the game. Thank you for watching the Culture Shark. I'm Junko.
All right. So
the
there, um, there
least,
is
the worst kept secret in Metroid history. This is the Arkham Knight of Metroid secrets. The
yeah.
true final boss of this game.
So I now that you've talked about this dichotomy between Samus and Ridley, it actually makes the Ridley boss fight make more sense thematically to me.
Oh, absolutely. And also, flat out confirms that Prime is canon. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Prime is canon. Shut up. Because in this game, Ridley comes in at the last minute to attack Samus and take the baby Metroid. But this Ridley is sort of an in between of regular Ridley and Meta Ridley, known as Proteus Ridley. He has a lot of the mechanical parts still attached to him, but he's clearly become more and more organic. Almost like his organic limbs are starting to grow back.
Or it's like he himself has a power suit.
Sure. Sure. Now, I found this to be the best Ridley fight in the series, but I know you
I
disagree.
I definitely disagree with that, and it's really not me trying to like be brr, 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 like that. What it really comes down to is, um, to me, the Queen Metroid was a better final boss than
Mm-hmm.
Ridley was, because to me a final boss should utilize everything, right?
And there are
Um,
two power ups in particular that have no use for this boss fight at all.
yeah, well, there's quite a few actually. There's really only two ways to damage him.
Well, technically three.
So,
One
I
is
mean,
Aeon powers, the other is your regular beam, and finally your super missiles.
yeah, like regular missiles don't work against Ridley.
Which kind of sucks considering if you did the 100% playthrough, You're just collecting these missiles just
for
for
no
the fun
reason.
of it.
Yeah,
You're not even using them. You don't
yeah,
even use them.
yeah. The most useful thing to collect are Aeon expansions, which is a thing. You can actually expand. Like you have missile expansions, power bombs, all that, all those regular expansions, and then we have Aeon expansions, um, which which let you uh, like do more Aeon abilities. There is another thing that I don't necessarily like
And what's that?
in this, that it's more of a subtext thing. I don't like the fact that the baby Metroid helps out in the fight.
No, I like it.
No, to me you save that for Mother Brain. You
It
know, like it takes away the
because you want it to be a surprise that the baby Metroid is benevolent.
yes, that the baby Metroid actually cares about you.
Yeah, but not just cares about you, but selfless enough to sacrifice itself to save you.
Yeah, like
I can see that, but also it's a fun gameplay
n-
mechanic in this.
well, yeah. I mean, no, it's a fun gameplay mechanic, and you know, it's cool, but it takes away from Super.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't like it. That's why I know a lot of people really like this fight. I just don't.
I think this is definitely the swan song of Ridley, like
I
just
would
as a character.
I would definitely like there to be a better one.
No, well, do you know what I mean by this?
uh,
This will quite possibly be the last time we'll ever see Ridley in a game.
which is unfortunate.
No, I think at this point we've we've solved Ridley like as a boss, and at this point there were people who have been have been having Ridley fatigue. I don't know if you remember this. Do
I
you
don't know.
not
Like,
remember Ridley fatigue
no, I
among
do.
Metroid fans?
I do. I'm just so here's the thing. I I come as a Zelda fan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I come as a Zelda fan with Tears of the Kingdom, where um, Tears of the Kingdom is some of the best Ganondorf has ever been, and like I'm at the point where it was so perfect that I could see Ganondorf not showing up for the next 20 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I want that for Ridley. We have not gotten that. Like I don't think that there has been a better I don't think we've ever gotten better than Super when it comes to a Ridley boss fight.
I think this game gets close.
Well, we just went over why I actually really don't like this boss fight.
Well, those are the reasons I like the boss fight.
You like the boss fight because you can only damage it with two things?
I like the fact that it feels like a grudge match. Like it follows you. He follows you even when you're like going all space jump. It's a very
No, you know what? I will say that.
ground and air style fight.
I will say that I think Ridley himself is cool. I think Ridley's the coolest part of the fight. I think everything that Samus and the baby do are the thing that kill it for me.
Mm.
You know, because like there are, you know, several times where you know he's stabbing the ground and that's super cool. Um, like like the first time he charged at me, grabbed me, and smacked me up against the mountain and took like 6 energy tanks. That was cool, you know. Everything that Ridley does is so cool. It just sucks that it's detrimented by um,
The fact
something.
that you can't damage him all the time.
The fact that you can't damage him with everything.
At
Let's say
least
that.
let you use the missiles on his head, like his fleshy head.
Yeah. Honestly,
Make it so that way the robot aspect of Ridley's still there, but like as a gameplay mechanic.
yeah.
Maybe they'll do that in a port.
Maybe.
Samus Returns Deluxe.
We've been talking about deluxes a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Now
almost
you might think this is
it's
the
almost
end.
it's almost as if these 3DS games aren't the best they could be.
Yeah, but so after you complete the game, you get the end credits. You see Samus take off her clothes, standard stuff. But then there's an after credits scene showing the aftermath of Samus's adventure into SR-388. So you see one of the creatures of SR-388 playing around with this metallic Ridley claw that mysteriously doesn't have a Ridley in it, and a mysterious life form starts flying around and attacks the uh, the creature, and then becoming a corrupted version of said creature. The X parasites have returned.
Well, not returned.
Well, to SR-388.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Essentially, this is a setup for a sequel that we already have.
Yeah. Now, for a sequel that we didn't have at the time, that's something you have to go into the gallery for.
Now,
Now,
I've seen all of them. Uh how do you unlock them? Like, what's the criteria?
the criteria is that you unlock one of the images per completing all the item collection in each area. So when you collect all the items in area 1, you get the first part of Chozo Memories. When you complete all the items in area 2, you get the second part, and so on and so forth. But you don't get the final 11th one until you collect all of the items.
On hard
Now,
mode.
no, I didn't beat this game on hard mode. The game was hard enough as it is. Uh, Speaking of which, amiibos. Uh, amiibos lock the hardest difficulty behind a paywall with expensive amiibos that are really hard to get. The friggin' Metroid one's like $80 now. I'll never get it. That's okay. Back to the Chozo Memories. So the Chozo Memories does elaborate some lore aspects to both this game and future titles, and previous titles as well. Just clear some things up. Now, the Chozo, they landed on SR-388 for standard exploration and mining purposes, and they discovered this strange power known as Aeon that gave them great abilities. But with discovering the Aeon, they also discovered the X parasites, which eradicated a lot of the Chozo. So the Chozo created the ultimate warrior to combat the X parasites, aka the Metroid. The Metroid turned the X parasites into a joke and seemingly completely eradicated them. And there was peace at a time. The Metroids were quite chill with their Chozo masters, and mining the Aeon continued as usual. But then the Chozo discovered that the Metroids were consuming the Aeon and mutating into these new life forms, such as the Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, and Omega, and even the Queen, and turned against the Chozo. And because of that, the Chozo sealed off the Metroids within the acid and called called help from the Makin Chozo tribe to assist. Unfortunately, the Makin betrayed the Chozo and killed them all, symbolizing, showing a new sequel hook to a future title in the series.
And we will cover that sequel next time in it won't be our final Metroid Crusade video because we definitely want to go back to that tier list and redo it because we were definitely wrong on a couple things. There were some things that were too high, there were some things that were too low, and then there were some things that were low but not low enough. But next time we will be talking about our final game before Metroid Prime 4. Join us next time for my second favorite game of all time, Metroid Dread. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Chunko.
And we'll catch you later.